Today you are going to learn how to write the equation of a parabola when they give you the picture. So turn to your books to page 253 and look at example 2. The parabola that they give you has a vertex at 3, 4.
Miss Tatum, how do you spell parabola?
It's right here. So this is your vertex at 3, 4. They also give you a point P in the picture. And the point P is 5, -4. So you want to graph that also.
It's P parabola.
P stands for point. 5, -4 is point P on your parabola. And then you sketch it. So this is what you're given. And what you have to do now is use this information to write the equation of the parabola. So Tayana, can you please read what step 1 says in the book? It says y equals, you write the vertex form, a times x minus h squared plus k. That's the vertex form of a parabola. The first thing you want to do is substitute in h and k. H is 3 and k is 4 because your vertex is 3, 4. So everywhere you see h, you're going to put 3. Everywhere you see k, you're going to put 4. Y equals a times x minus 3 squared plus 4.
What is that?
Really?
She watching.
After you substitute in the vertex, the next step you need to do is plug in x and y. So the point P they gave us, 5, -4. Who can tell me which one of those numbers is x? 5. So everywhere I see an x, I'm going to put a 5. And what number is for -4? Which letter is that? Y. So instead of writing y, I'm going to write -4. And instead of writing x, I'm going to write 5. And I'm going to rewrite everything exactly the same. So I took my point P and I substituted it in for x and y. The next thing I need to do is just simplify so I can solve for a. So I get -4 equals a. And what is 5 minus 3? 2 squared plus 4. And what is 2 squared? 4. So -4 equals a times 4 plus 4. -4 equals 4a because we can rewrite a times 4 as 4a. 4a plus 4. Now, who can tell me how would I solve this equation for a? Combine like terms by moving which number? Right, so subtracting 4 on both sides. -8 equals 4a. What should I do next? I should divide both sides by 4. And I get -2 equals a. So now I have a, and I have my vertex. So the very last step is to rewrite the whole equation using your vertex and a. So I'm going to take my a, and I'm going to substitute it into the original equation for a. So y equals -2 times the quantity x minus 3 squared plus 4. And you're done. So let's go over the steps over again. The first step, you take your vertex, 3, 4, and you plug it in for h and k. H is 3, k is 4. After you substitute in 3 and 4, they give you a point P. Remember, and P was 5, negative 4. So the equation above this was y equals, instead of writing y, you write 4 equals a times 5 minus 3 squared plus 4. So you substituted the point P for x and y, your y and your x. Then you simplify. Once you simplify, you get a equals negative 2. You take your a equals negative 2, you plug it back in here. So you want to substitute back into your original equation a, h, and k. You do not need to plug back in x and y. You want to leave it in vertex form. In vertex form, you need y and you need x. So y equals negative 2 times x minus 3 squared plus 4. So now I want you to try quick check 2. It's at the top of the next page. Alright, so quick check 2 gives you this parabola. The vertex is negative 1, 0. So you take your vertex and you plug it in. Y equals a times x minus plus 1 plus 0. And this is plus 1 because it's negative 1. So you do the opposite. Then you take your point. The point that they give you, point P, is negative 2, 2. So you take your 2, you substitute it in for y. And you take your negative 2 and you substitute it in for x. We don't have to rewrite the 0 because we don't need it. Next, I do negative 2 plus 1, which is what? Negative 2 plus 1.
Negative 2 plus 1 is 1.
Negative 1. So I have 2 equals negative a, because negative 1 times a is just negative a. I don't want a negative a, I want a positive a. So I divide both sides by negative 1, and I get negative 2 equals a. So I have a, I have my h and my k. All I have to do is rewrite it and put it back into the original equation. So I'm going to rewrite this, substituting in a, h, and k. Y is equal to, I have my a, negative 2 times x plus 1, because that's the first point in my vertex, x plus 1, and then plus 0, which we really don't need, but you can go ahead and write it. And that's the answer for quick check 2. Let's do the steps one more time. Take your vertex, negative 1, 0, you rewrite it into vertex form. 1, 0, and it's plus 1 because you do the opposite. Next, you take your point, negative 2, 2. That's your P. You plug in negative 2 for x and 2 for y, because your point is x, y. Then you simplify. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 times a is negative a. We don't want negative a. We want positive a. So we divide both sides by negative 1. When you divide by negative 1, you get a equals negative 2. Now you're going to rewrite in vertex form. This is a, this is h, and this is k. You do not use the numbers for x and y. You use the variables x and y.